How are you? Can you hear me? How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
Yes, I am also fine. Okay, so today let's begin Albert Einstein at school. Okay, chapter number 4 from snapshots. Okay, and page number is 25. Okay, now see, Albert Einstein is regarded as the greatest physicist since Newton. In the following extract from the young Einstein, the well-known biographer Patrick Pringle describes the circumstances which led to Albert Einstein's expulsion from a German school. So in this extract, you will come to know how Einstein was expelled from his school, means he was forcefully removed from his school because his teachers didn't think that he was fit enough to continue as a student. Okay. And Patrick Pringle, he was a writer, he was a photographer also, and a biologist, and he has written the Young Einstein book, and this is an extract from there. Okay, please follow your book. In what year, Einstein asked the history teacher, did the Prussians defeat the French at Waterloo? Underline this line. I don't know, sir. Why don't you know? You have been told it often enough. I must have forgotten. So this is a conversation. The extract begins with a conversation between Einstein and his history teacher. And his history teacher wants to ask him certain dates. But Einstein is a very honest person, and he plainly answers and tells his teacher that he does not like remembering dates, and what is the use of remembering dates. Okay. Why don't you know? You have been told it often enough. I must have forgotten. Did you ever try to learn? Asked Mr. Brown. So name of the teacher is Mr. Brown. You can underline. No, sir, Albert replied with his usual unthinking honesty. So this is the characteristic of Albert Einstein. You can underline usual unthinking honesty. So he didn't even stop to think. He was such an honest human being that he plainly replied that, no, sir, I have never tried even to learn those dates. So his sir asked, why not? I can't see any point in learning dates. So he responds to his teacher by saying that there's no point, sir, there's no point in learning dates. One can always look them up in a book. So see, he was just a very honest student, and he plainly, he did not make up any excuses that, sir, I did not find time, or maybe I had learned but I have forgotten. He plainly told that I don't think that dates needed to be learned. Okay, are you following with me?
Yes.
Mr. Brown was speechless for a few moments. Now teacher was amazed. Okay, he was surprised. He never expected such an answer from a student who just plainly told that there is no point in learning the dates of past. Okay, you amaze me, Einstein, he said at last. Don't you realize that one can always look most things up in books? That applies to all the facts you learn at school. So his teacher was so much amazed and surprised that he told that, and he was angry also at Einstein. And he told that, Einstein, don't you even know that most of the things that you come and learn in the school can be read in books? Then what is the use of coming to school? So he got agitated. The teacher got agitated. Obviously, the school system which we follow doesn't give such liberty to the student that the student will guide the teacher, or instead tell the teacher that this is required and this is not required. So that's how the education system works. So the teacher got agitated, or you can say annoyed. Then you don't believe in education at all? Oh yes, sir, I do. I don't think learning facts is education. Please underline this line, the last line of the page. So the teacher says that, oh, that means you don't feel that if learning dates is important, then hopefully you don't even believe in the education system at all. But then Einstein very politely tells his teacher that, no, sir, that is not the case. I do believe in education, but for me, I think learning facts is not education. It's all about ideas and the thought process of the student. Okay. It is a very interesting extract. Okay, you will find it really interesting. And we will get to know Einstein also, because see, he was such a famous personality that we could never think that he had such a bad time in his school. No one can even imagine that he was such a terrible student. So this is like a motivation for the students also. Those who are not able to do well in exams, they can take the example of Einstein and say that, okay, if he was like this at the school level, maybe after some time, when you start taking interest in a particular subject or a stream, then you can obviously do well. Okay, it's all about sincerity. Then in that case, said the history teacher with heavy sarcasm, perhaps you will be so kind as to tell the class the Einstein theory of education. Now, the teacher got really angry. Okay. And you will find he uses sarcasm and heavy sarcasm. Sarcasm means he's mocking the student. He's making fun of the student, or we can say in plain language that he is trying to taunt the student. That then he tells that, okay, if you have your theory of education, kindly will you make an effort to explain your theory of education to the class? Albert flushed. Now, flushed means he got embarrassed. Obviously, he was a student after all, and he did not know these technicalities, that why the teacher is doing like this, why the teacher is behaving like this. So he got embarrassed. I think it's not facts that matters, but ideas. Underline this line also. So he just plainly told that it's not about facts. Education is never about facts. It is always about the ideas. He said, I don't see the point in learning the dates of battles or even which of the armies killed more men. I would be more interested in learning why those soldiers were trying to kill each other. So he says that, see, I'm not interested in the dates, that when this battle happened or when this took place. I am more interested in knowing why those soldiers were trying to harm each other. Okay. That's enough. Mr. Brown's eyes were cold and cruel. So that was the point of saturation for the teacher. History teacher got really agitated, and he just told that, please stop, that's enough. And we don't want a lecture from you, Einstein. You will stay in for an extra period today, although I don't imagine it will do you much good. It won't do the school any good either. You are a disgrace. I don't know why you continue to come. So the teacher got really angry, and he asked Einstein to stop, and he told that you are such a student that the school is never going to benefit from you. As a punishment, he was asked to stay an extra period, but the teacher told that you are of no use to the school, and I don't understand that why do you come to school anyhow. Okay. It's now, see, Albert is so straightforward, and he's so like he is also very like, he speaks to the point, and he just tells his sir that it's not my wish, sir. So he says that, sir, I don't wish to come to school. It is because of my parents that I come to school. See, have you ever met a student like Einstein? Have you ever seen a student like Einstein?
No.
Yes, see, so he is just going on quarreling with his teacher, and he just plainly tells his teacher that, sir, it's not my wish, and then you are an ungrateful boy and ought to be ashamed of yourself. I suggest you ask your father to take you away. Now things got really serious, and the teacher told that, oh, that means you are totally ungrateful. You are not a grateful boy, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself, and you should tell your father that you are wasting his time and money and your time also, and it's better you ask your father to take you away from the school. Albert felt miserable when he left school that afternoon. Not that it had been a bad day. Most days were bad now anyway. Underline this line. Now, why were the most days bad now? Because, you know, in most of the classes, Albert was honest enough to tell his ideas and thoughts about education to the teachers, and teachers could not take it. They did not have the heart enough or the courage enough to accept that the little boy is telling the right thing, but maybe his idea or perception of education is different. So his most of the days in school were bad, but today it got really absurd. Okay, so it was more miserable. Most days were bad now anyway, but because he had to go back to that hateful place the next morning. So he is calling the school as a hateful place. It was the place which he disliked the most. He did not want to come to school, and that was the worst part of his life. He only wished his father would take him away, but there was no point in even asking him. So, as you know, the parents always, all the parents want their children to be highly qualified and educated. So, he always wished that his father should take him away from the school, but he knew that that is beyond his imagination. That was, there's no point in even asking him. He knew what the answer would be. He would have to stay until he had taken his diploma. So the condition was that he has to complete his diploma, and then only he could leave the school. Okay, are you following, Vidhi, up till here? Is it clear?
Yes.
Any questions up till here?
No.
Okay. Now see, if the place where he stays, that is also being described. Going back to his lodgings did not cheer him up. His father had so little money to spare that Albert had been found a room in one of the poorest quarters of Munich. Underline the name of the place. He did not mind the bad food and the lack of comfort, or even the dirt and squalor. Squalor means very extremely dirty. Okay, a neglected place, very dirty. But he hated the atmosphere of slum violence. So the place where he stayed, that also was not like very nice or very beautiful. It was not well maintained. It was it was very gloomy and dirty place. And the part that he hated the most was the slum violence. His landlady baked up her children regularly, and every Saturday her husband came drunk and beat her up. So that was the case. That was the thing which he did not like, that the landlady used to beat her children, and when her husband used to be home, he also used to beat the children and his wife. But at least you have a room of your own, which is more than I can say, said Yuri. Yuri is the name of his friend. You underline the name. His only friend in that city was Yuri. When he called round in the evening, at least you live among civilized human beings, even if they are all poor students, said Albert. So Yuri is telling Albert Einstein that at least you have a place to live. But Albert is telling Yuri that at least you are staying with students, because they all are civilized, even though they are poor. But again, Yuri is counter answering and telling they are not all civilized. Yuri replied, did you not hear that one of them was killed last week in a duel? Duel means a fight. So Yuri tells that, no, you are completely wrong in thinking that all of them are civilized. Not all of them are civilized, because last week there was a fight between group of boys and one of them was killed. So this does not portray civilized. Okay, this is not this is not something which is done in civilized society. And what happens to the one who killed him? Nothing, of course. He is even proud of it. His only worry is that the authorities have told him not to fight any more duels. So he says that nothing. He killed the boy, but nothing that sort happened. Only the authorities have asked him to not to get indulged in any sort of duels anymore. Okay, and the person who killed, he was so upset because he didn't have a single scar on his face to wear for the rest of his life as a badge of honor. Now, badge of honor means a mark of pride. So the Yuri is describing an incident where a boy had killed a boy in a duel, and he was not even ashamed of the act, and he was so proud of himself that he was ready to fight more, but he was upset because he did not get any scar which he could show as a matter of pride. Okay, are you following?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, exclaimed Albert, and these are the students. And then Albert Einstein says, oh, and all these of them call themselves students. What is the use of calling them as students? They all are qualified, they all are studying, and see how they are behaving. So this is a kind of satire, you can underline. And these are the students, means see how they are portraying themselves. They are entering into duels and fights, and then they are calling themselves as students. Well, you will be a student one day, said Yuri. Then Yuri also says that, but one fine day you will also be a student. But Albert Einstein, he says that I doubt it, because he does not like his school. He hates his school, and therefore he says that he was not in a position to continue his education, and therefore he might not become a student. Why? Because he won't be able to complete his diploma. I don't think I'll ever pass the exam for the school diploma, he told his cousin Elsa. Now see, his friend Yuri and his cousin Elsa are the two persons whom we come to know through Einstein in this extract. So Yuri was his good friend and Elsa was his cousin. The next time she came to Munich, normally she lived in Berlin, where her father had a business. I'm sure you could learn enough to pass the exams. Now, Elsa is just advising Albert that I am very sure that if you learn only a little bit of the text, you will be able to clear your exams. If you tried, she said, I know lots of boys who are much more stupid than you are, who get through. They say you don't have to know anything. You don't have to understand what you are taught. Just be able to repeat it in the exams. See how this is like a satire on education system, because what does she say? Don't understand anything. Just mug up and go and vomit it in the exam. So this is the theory she just explains Einstein, but Einstein is beyond all this. Okay, his brain is totally different. He is a different kind of a person. He says that I will never be able to learn facts. Okay, that does not appeal me. I will never be able to learn facts. Okay, so up till here clear?
Yes.
Any questions to ask?
No.